everybody. I'm Janet Prensky. She's Anne-Marie Eigner.
We're the Boomer Broads, and you'll notice a new studio. We had a little water problem in New England this past weekend. Maybe you've heard. Lots of flooding, really awful for a lot of people.
Lucy and Ricky and many animals are lined up 2 by 2 because the arks are being built throughout the region. It's been very, very harrowing.
A lot of basements are wet. Mine, luckily,
which is particularly an issue for you, having just put in a French drain.
Tens of thousands of dollars worth of French drain. Well, my basement is dry, but the water that is being pumped out by the 2 massive sump pumps that I have has no place to go except into my backyard, which
is now like a
lake,
a pond.
A little lake.
Say a pond.
I'm hoping if we can sort of build something around it, maybe we can use it come summer when the weather gets better.
That's the attitude. That's a much better attitude than you had the last couple of days when you were screaming at your French drain people.
It's been
Those
tough.
poor people.
It's tough. Well, poor everybody.
It is
very tough.
It's hard,
and I don't want to minimize it by
But
making
our
jokes
office
about
got somewhat flooded, and we do this show from our office, and so now we're in the palatial presidential suite of
the corner office.
The corner office. I'm like a schlub on the other end. Trust me, in so many ways. But here we are. So if we look a little different, that's why.
Okay, so let's
enough
hop
about
to it.
us. Yes.
Let's hop to it. The news of the week, and I honestly have to stand. In some cases, this sort of dovetails with our professional lives in that it's cases of horrible PR.
Oh, I love that.
I know. So you feel free to comment in both directions. Both
you know me, I'm not shy.
And the story itself and the PR implications. Okay, let's start with the most obvious. Rielle Hunter, or however you say her silly name, whom I'm calling, by the way, Fake Hunter, or Man Hunter, or Married Man Hunter.
You've been working on this? You have been working on this. That's very good.
Oh,
very good.
And look at this. I mean, give me a break. She finds these pictures repulsive. Maybe she should have thought of that before she took her pants off.
Yeah, well, I'm not, and the one that really upsets me, maybe you don't have it, is the one where she's posing with Elmo. It's one thing for you to be a you-know-what, but to pose with the little innocent Sesame Street characters and drag them into your ugly den of iniquity.
And I don't want to know about their first night. And the magnetism.
Who is advising someone to say in an interview, yes, the day I met John Edwards, I slept with him.
Johnny Edwards.
Johnny Edwards, I slept with him. Why would you say that?
Who wants to know?
How does that make you look good?
For either one of them.
You're just stupid. You're stupid.
I really believe he is stupid because he has given her permission to speak. And he should have known better. And frankly, that's why,
he gave her permission to
because
speak?
she wouldn't have spoken. She has said, Johnny has now given me permission.
He gave her permission to say that she slept with him the first night they met? I doubt it.
I don't think he okayed every word.
And I'm sure he regrets it now.
Well, yeah, and talk about, those two should just go away, and no amount of PR management is ever going to resurrect their careers.
And what is upsetting is he's filthy rich and they can go away.
Well, good. Goodbye. I don't want to really see him
anymore.
Goodbye,
Rielle. We're done
I really
with
don't.
You. Goodbye.
Okay. The next situation, which is like a dagger in my heart since I own one, Toyota. And this whole situation with the James Sykes from California.
Well, I had said to myself, from a PR perspective.
Having just bought, by the way, a 2010, in case you missed it, Prius.
We know you have
2 weeks before the recall.
She's very upset, needless to say, and rightfully so.
Oh, would you get in a car and drive?
Did I say rightfully so?
Yes, you did, thank you.
But I had said to myself, the only way Toyota can survive is if some of these people who are having these instant acceleration incidents turn out to be liars. Now, this last one, the one in California, the one that really flipped you out.
Flipped me out.
We thought everything was over, and then that happened. It was like, oh my God, here we go. This guy, it turns out, according to Toyota, which again, although also according to the National Transportation Board,
National Highway Transportation
they cannot
Safety
replicate what happened to him, and they find it very sketchy that there were 250 incidences of acceleration and braking within a very short amount of time, which makes it sound like he was trying to manipulate things.
The part that bothered me from
may I finish what I'm saying?
I thought you were finished.
No, I rarely finish. The only hope I have of finishing is when you cut me off. And the other thing that really is sketchy is that this is a man who just filed for bankruptcy, owes creditors $700,000.
He's not suing.
That's I think he is going to sue. I think maybe he's in a position now where he can't because he's being looked at with a doubting eye. But in my mind, he might have done this on purpose to sue Toyota and make $1 million or whatever dollars.
None of that was my point, but Thank you for joining. Thank you for sharing.
And you should outline things ahead of time for me. Your points are, and I need to support them.
The parameters up front.
Yes, a little primer.
Why would you put Toyota people at the microphone to call charges sketchy? Why would you do? I mean, why would I believe Toyota? What are they going to say? That Mr. Sykes, he was right on the money. And all of you people driving a Prius these days, you better watch out. What are they going to say?
Well, if they were smart, they would have only used a third person, the National Transportation Board, and let them come out with this, of course. Why doesn't someone call Eigner Prensky Marketing Group, the best PR agency in town? Nobody listens to us. Nobody listens to us. Even our own clients, and we're talking about you.
Bad move, in my opinion. And I watched the whole thing, but I was like flabbergasted that their multi-million-dollar PR agency didn't say.
So what are you going to do about your car?
I don't know. You're
trying to give it back?
I'm trying to give it back.
I don't blame you.
I may just join the class action suit and see
but
what
I still
happens.
Would see if you could give the car back. You can't live like this
On
anymore.
to happier occasions.
Okay.
Do you know what this week is? Take a guess. Besides St. Patrick's Day,
I was just going to say St. Patrick's Day.
You do have your
well, this is greenish. It's kind of a puke green. I don't really think that. Although for St. Patrick's Day, that is appropriate. With all the drinking.
If I had called it that,
yeah,
I'd be in trouble.
You would be, because it's mine.
It is the 25th anniversary of .com. And you know what the most expensive URL ever is? It happens to be up for sale right now.
Beer.com?
No.
Damn.
But close. Think.
Yeah,
you'll get this one thing.
Sex.com.
Bravo, Ms. Prensky.
Thank you. What else could it be? Oh, I feel very good about that.
It sold for $1 million
back
3 years ago.
Foolishly.
Many years ago.
Boy.
And, I'm sorry, it sold for $14 million. I'm sorry. And it is up for,
the
starting bid now is $1 million. The starting bid.
Oh, things have really changed for
Can
the
you imagine?
world. So sex.com is the most expensive website ever sold. And is beer.com second?
You know what? I don't know.
Oh, dear.
But I'll check. I'll have our crack producers check into that.
Yeah, look at Beth is massaging her neck. Dan is thinking
dozing
about
off.
his laundry list.
I thought this would add a little levity.
Okay,
Funniest domain names. This is from the Huffington Post. First Baptist.
Thanks to our friend Marge, sent this over to us.
FirstBaptistCumming.org. First Baptist Cumming. It's from Cumming, Georgia.
So when does the humor start?
Okay, let's try this one.
Oh yeah, let's try another one.
Masturbate online.
Oh yikes!
And what it is a master bait, BAIT. So you can buy fishing bait.
It's fishing. I think maybe you should have said that ahead of time. Because many people tuned out before you got to the
Children's
explanation.
slaughter.
Children's laughter.
Right, good. Very good. Are you peeking? Don't peek.
No, I don't have to peek. I'm very small.
mp3shits.com.
See, this is where you... Did you read these ahead of time and practice it all?
It's MP3's hits.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to move right into the hot flash because we only have a minute or so left.
Oh, Bendover.com.
Is it Ben
Yes.
Dover? Yes! Oh my God, this gets better and better.
You are good.
I know. Well, okay. Now
enough of the silliness.
Now again, this Amory prepares quite a bit. This is my preparation for today's show, and this is, of course, the hot flash, which is
usually ripped out from my newspaper.
Yes, well, it's a piece of news you can basically live without, but brought to you by the Boomer Broth. It's called the hot flash. 600-pound woman sets weight goal of 1,000 pounds.
I think you're never going to believe this.
Did you find this in bendover.com? You have a picture of her? That's hideous. This girl is dreaming
12,000 calories a day she wants to eat.
All right, well, that's... And there's my hot flash. Thank you, Anne-Marie. Well, it was great being here today.
Read it, I'm sorry.
We have no time left.
Our fans want to know.
Do you want to know? All right, she's 600 pounds. Okay. She's in New Jersey. She's a sick broad. Her name is Donna Simpson. She's 42 years old. She wants to hit 1,000 pounds so she can grab the title of the fattest woman in the world. Who wouldn't? Talk about aspirations. And she gets $700 a week if you log on to her... she has a website where men pay her to watch her eat fast food.
That is so vile.
I don't make these things up. And surprisingly enough, she says she likes cakes and sweet things. I mean, that is a shocker.
That would have been my first guess. Okay, we're done.
Okay, and her boyfriend eggs her on. I think he'd like it if I were bigger. He's a real belly man.
But this segues nicely into our next show.
Yes, it does, which is about
some of
the removal of
stuff.
things. I was going to say fat, but no. Well, we'll talk about this next.
It's not fat.
It was great to see you. Don't forget to be a part of all of our worlds of Facebook and Turning Point TV. And we'll see you soon.
See you soon.